I get questions as to how I keep my locks healthy and growing properly. I've had my locks for 6 years, and in 6 years I can tell you that my locks have been doing really good. Today I'm going to be telling you things to do and not to do to maintain healthy locks. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jojo, recently relocated to the United Kingdom. Still new in the system, so I get excited every time I say that. It's been 2 months after my relocation, basking in it well enough. Thank you guys for all the love and support you've shown me all through the relocation process to this point. I'm really grateful. All my new subscribers, thank you guys. It feels good to have you here. Today we're diving into a very interesting topic. I get this question a lot every single time people see me, and people get to ask me lots of questions. So how I keep my hair looking good, all of this, all of it. No attachments or whatsoever. This is all my locks, and I've had this for 6 years. I started my locks at grassroots level, trust me, at the barest minimum. I recently just cut my hair, so but aside just the length, this looks pretty much healthy enough, right? And so I'm going to tell you things that I do to ensure that my locks are looking really great, right? First of all, I'm going to start with the don'ts. What you don't do is keep your locks dry. Don't do that for a number of reasons. Okay, take for instance, you have a plant that needs to grow, and you don't give it sunlight, you don't give it water. Do you think they'll grow? No, they'll die. That's how your hair is. Your hair needs a whole lot of water to grow. And by water, I don't mean just wash day. I don't mean once in a month, once in a week. I mean regularly. That way it keeps the moisture in your scalp well alive, and it helps the circulation of blood, gives room for growth. Secondly, I'm going to talk about using 20 products on your locks. Now, with locks, it is easy to maintain, trust me. It's so hard to believe, but the only thing I use for my locks, that I'm known for my locks, as much as I use water every single time, it's just one oil. And to be very honest, you do not need too much to maintain your locks, to give your locks a good shine, or to help your locks grow. You just need to know what exactly it is you need. For instance, if you're treating scalp itching, if your scalp itches a lot of time, then you need something like tea tree oil. That helps ease off the itch from your scalp, and when you don't itch too much too often, your locks don't get roughened easily, and you don't have to retwist every single time, right? Find something that works for your hair. Look for something that has a proper essential vitamin that you need for your locks. For instance, you need coconut oil, you need castor oil, you need just look for something that you can find within your reach. Just one product and you're good to go. One product with water and you're fine. You oil your hair probably once in 2 weeks. Make sure you're not oiling your hair every single day. With locks, less is more. So please be careful not to, oil your hair every single time. You honestly do not need that, I'm telling you. And the third thing you don't do is retwist your locks too often. Don't do that. Now, I get it, you want to look pretty much neat every single time, but the truth is, you honestly can still look good enough even without having to retwist your locks every couple of weeks. You honestly don't need that. When you retwist your locks too often, it puts too much pressure on your locks. It puts too much tension on your scalp, and you honestly don't need that. You need your scalp to be well relaxed, right? You need your scalp to be comfortable, to be fine. That way it helps the circulation of blood. It helps you find more room for hair growth. And when you retwist your locks too often, you get to realize that over time it begins to have breakage, because you're either rolling it too many times than you should, or you're either retying it too many times than you should, and it just begins to have some sort of divide in between. If you notice, your locks has divide in between somewhere. You've been stretching it too much, you've been straining it too much, or rather, you've not been locking your hair as much as you should. Now, this is very technical, right? You can't do too much and you can't do less with locks. It's yeah, a bit complicated, but that's the honest truth. You cannot retwist your hair too often, and you cannot give too much space to retwisting your locks, except your style is the free form. For free form, you don't get to retwist. In fact, the retwist is probably like in 3 months or so, but that's how the style is. And if you notice, at some point you find breakage somewhere, right? Because the hair is going off, it's detaching off from the root. But that's not the conversation for today. If you do not retwist your locks as when you should, your locks begin to pull off from the root because they're off, they're falling off, they're almost getting disjointed from what you naturally have, right? And you do not want that. So those are 3 things for the don'ts. Now, for what you want to do is make sure your locks are properly covered and well protected. And by protection, I mean it is very easy for your locks to attract dust and all of that, right? I said this a lot of time. Back when I was in Lagos, I used to go to markets a lot because I run a food business. So I go to local markets a lot of times. You don't find me going to some particular type of market with my hair uncovered. The truth is, it's very easy for our locks to attract dust for hair, all other things in our environment that are not needed in our hair. And sometimes you can't avoid that, right? Whether I like it or not. So what I do is I make sure my hair is properly covered when I'm going to places that are extremely busy like that with dust, places where I can't actually control, because the truth is they would hide in your hair. You will think, oh, you wash them later on. Our locks easily grab in lice, dirt and things from here and there, right? So why not just have them protected? And still talking about protection, do not sleep without covering your locks. I get it. Sometimes you forget, you just sleep off. Well, in that case, make sure that you're always sleeping on satin bedspread, satin pillowcases, right? That way, the moisture from your hair are still properly intact. Regular curtains have tendencies of sucking out moisture from your locks, which you honestly do not need. When the moisture from your hair are gone out and they're dry, trust me, it is so very easy for your hair to fall off, to break. They tend to be so unhealthy. Sometimes they tend to be stunted. They tend not to grow for a period of time because you're not doing good, right? So make sure that your hair is properly covered, either in silk bonnets or you're constantly sleeping on satin pillowcases and bedspread. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about is letting your hair breathe. Sometimes putting your locks in too many hairstyles and too many positions can cause stress. They will cause stress to your scalp, and you honestly do not want that. When you pack your hair in a certain manner, too much band, too much pressure here and there, you're not good for your locks. I don't want that for your locks. You want your locks to be healthy. Sometimes let them flow. Let them breathe. You honestly don't have to do too much. Ask me, 80% of the times you find my hair like this before I style them. I hardly actually style them. But even if I want to, I don't tend to do that all the time, right? This one is a bonus. Please find a perfect routine that works for you. The perfect routine that works for your locks. You want to put a routine in place to help you ensure that you're taking care of your locks properly. For instance, you make sure you have a wash time period. Create a time where you know you want to be having a regular deep wash for your locks. Create a time where you know you want to be oiling your locks. Make sure you water your locks every day. All of these are routine. Incubate them, put them in your lifestyle, and make sure that you go by this. I hope you put in all of these things I've said into use and come back and give me testimonies when your locks start doing great, because I'm telling you, when you do this, you will see results. Thank you for staying with me till the end of this video. I hope all of these tips were helpful. See you in another video. Bye for now.